Hi, welcome back to my channel where I discuss employee benefits and HR. Today we're going over wellness. Again, I did do a video previously on wellness and I'm diving back in. So why wellness matters. And we're going to look at why business leaders need to look at possibly bringing in coaching for their employees. This is not a sales pitch. I'm just looking at the science and psychology and reality of what works. I am a insurance broker. I am not a coach, just to be clear. This is just what I have observed and seen and helped employers implement. I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands of employers at this point. I started in this business when I was 20. So it's been 20 years, let's just say that. Okay. Why are we talking about wellness? It's a silent crisis in your organization. Your employees are stressed. Your employees are distracted. Everybody's more distracted than they've ever been. Your employees are struggling. Everybody's struggling more than they ever have. Even though everything looks fine on the surface, you don't know what you don't know. You're the HR, you're the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the owner of this business. And nobody's going to come up to you and tell you all their problems. Well, maybe they will if you're in HR. Okay. But my point is some employees don't. Some employees are very guarded with HR. Some aren't, but okay. But 41% of organizations say their wellness programs are truly effective. The other 59% are guessing. I have seen where employers say, okay, we have a wellness program. They check the box in the survey and say they have a wellness program. And they really don't. They have wellness initiatives, but they don't have a program. They don't have a wellness program. Very few employers have wellness programs. It's a very convoluted business. Wellness is such a airy-fairy generalized term that there's all these third-party vendors and administrators that are out there selling wellness programs, and everyone is a little bit different. And it's really up to the employer on how they want to build this thing and what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. And it can be very difficult. It takes a lot of communication, it takes a lot of thought to really maximize the dollar spend in the area of wellness. My last presentation, you're like, well, Melissa, you said this was easy. It's easy. You can make it easy to start. Okay. If you're brand new and this is something you're interested in, start small is my point. Get good at the small communications with your team. My last video was more, okay, what's the first kind of steps and what's the general concept and what are the areas of wellness that we look at that can be a focus for the company. And then we get into more wellness programs. And that's really what this is more focused on. So 41% of organizations say their wellness programs are effective. And that's the ones that actually have wellness programs. It's an 11-year low of employee engagement. It's the lowest point in over a decade. Burnout, anxiety, and quiet quitting are on the rise. Everybody's heard about the quiet quitting. It's where you're working and you're still getting your paycheck, but you're just not really doing anything. You're just like having a bot like respond to your emails and just off doing something else and just waiting to see if anybody's going to fire you. And if you don't like do anything at work or how little you can do, it's like quiet quitting. Why most wellness programs fail. The current approach. One-off initiatives. So in the beginning of January, the employer will come out and say, okay, we're going to give everybody yoga classes. And then everybody can get a free yoga class if they want, or they sometimes do an in-office kind of yoga session or an in-office meditation or a lunch and learn or offer a free gym membership. And that's it. Done. Move on. And then it's never spoken about again. Is that the problem? They're disconnected from work culture and they don't address what's actually draining the people. So you may be throwing darts on the board, and that's okay. It's good to move towards something, but at some point, getting more in tune with your workforce, sending out employee surveys can be really great. Getting with your HR team, your HR probably knows way more about the employee population than anybody else, and may be able to give you some insight in that direction. The result is low attendance, low engagement, low ROI. People don't change their behavior because someone invited them to a yoga class, right? So they're not just gonna, one lunch and learn isn't gonna change anything. I mean, it's better than nothing, and it's certainly a good place to start. So if you haven't done anything yet and you want to do lunch and learns once a quarter, I think that's a great way to start, especially for a small business, especially if the executive team is promoting it, behind it, and you don't have anybody resisting it within the core of the C-suite. Wellness programs fail because they treat symptoms, not the system. They ask employees to fix themselves outside of work while the workplace itself remains unchanged. And that's like trying to bail water from a sinking boat without plugging the leak. So when it all, I can't stress enough how much it starts with the executive team and in particularly the owner. So if the, and again, it depends on if the owner's even actively at work and actively with the employees all the time, or how involved they are in the business. But if the employees see the employer just disregarding everything, like for example, let's say the HR does all this work and they organize sponsorship with a 5K, a cancer walk, let's say, and the company sponsors this cancer walk, and everybody from the office goes, and everybody shows up, takes pictures, great for your marketing team too. And the CEO doesn't go, right? Or the CEO's, I don't need to do that. And he's over, he's taking smoke breaks or something, like, okay, how serious is everybody going to be taking this, right? That's the point. The real business case for wellness. We went over some of this last time. Forget all the feel good talk. Here's what wellness actually does for your bottom line. There has to be a reason why the company is doing it. Obviously, we talked about healthier employees have less absenteeism. Employees are more engaged. Healthier employees are more engaged. Healthier employees make better decisions. Healthier employees grow businesses, are more productive. And here's what the numbers show. $3.27 is the return for every dollar invested in wellness, and it can reduce the cost of healthcare. When I reveal this to smaller employers, they say, well, our costs are fixed. This doesn't help us with the costs. And that can be the case, depends on your state, depends on which product you're on. Many products do depend on your experience, meaning your claims experience. The less claims you have, the better renewals you're going to get. Even if you are on a plan that it doesn't matter what your claims experience is, the rates are the rates. Maybe it's an AC plan, the rates are locked in. There are other ways that you're going to be saving money. It could be on your dental plan. It could be on your vision. It could be on your life insurance. It could be on your disability insurance. It could be on workers' comp, other things. There are other areas in the area of insurance that a healthier workforce is going to trickle in and improve the cost. So that's one thing. 20% increase in productivity with comprehensive wellness programs. So employees that were getting 8 things done a day are now getting 10. Reduction in absenteeism, 56%. Average savings per employee per year on healthcare claims, about $500. Fewer sick days after 12 months. So again, this is a long-term, if you're investing in a legitimate wellness program, you have to be prepared to give it your best for 2 years before reassessing, because you're going to see most of the benefits starting after 12 months. Lower voluntary turnover among high stress teams. So when people are stressed out, they quit. And if you have a good wellness program, it can help people manage their stress better. What healthy actually means for business: a healthy mind is a clear mind. Clear minds make better decisions. Employees who are well rested, well fed, emotionally stable, they make better decisions. They spot problems faster, they innovate more, and solve conflicts. Energy is finite, it's a finite resource. All of us only have so much energy. And if we're not getting sleep, when they're burnout, when employees are burnout and they have no energy left, they're not going to be creative. Collaboration is going to go down and the quality of work is going to go down. They're in survival mode. And everybody goes through this. Not every employee is perfect. I mean, I certainly go through seasons myself. Things happen in our lives. It can increase the resilience of your organization and of your employees, because the more resilient your employees are, meaning the faster they can bounce back from a setback or from a crisis in their life, the faster they can bounce back from that, the more resilient they are. And the more resilient your employees are, the more resilient your organization is. Health compounds. One improvement leads to others, which is a little bit what I touched on my last video when I talked about the 7 areas of wellness. It's not just, everybody thinks when I say wellness, they think of, my muscles and diet and exercise. It can be financial wellness. That's a big one. A lot of people get very distracted at work thinking about their financials. Financial wellness, mental health is a wellness category. There's 7 of them. Okay. So, and they overlap, like we talked about. If somebody needs help with emotional regulation, or they're going through an emotional tragedy in their life, bringing in good diet and exercise tips or giving them a resource in that may seem counterproductive, but it can help. If somebody's going through something, getting out and going on a walk, I mean, I'm sure you felt it. If you're feeling depressed, getting out and going on a walk in the park can help. So they can overlap. Getting better sleep means more energy, better workouts, better decisions, less stress, better relationships, higher engagement. It's a virtuous cycle. Is that Austin?
Hi.
Hi. Are you so cute? Are you the cutest little baby boy there ever was? Did your trucky get fixed? You're stinky.
Benny.
I love you.
Look.
Stop. Stop. And with that, thank you for hanging out to the end. If you give me a like, a comment, it really helps me out. Share it with somebody if you think that you know an HR manager, CEO, CFO that would be interested in getting a free assessment or a second opinion on their employee benefits. Please share the video or share my bennies.info scheduling tool. And that's it. We'll see you next time. Bye bye. And with that, thank you for hanging out to the end. If you give me a like, a comment, it really helps me out. Share it with somebody if you think that you know an HR manager, CEO, CFO that would be interested in getting a free assessment or a second opinion on their employee benefits. Please share the video or share my bennies.info scheduling tool. And that's it. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.